Well, Need for Speed Unbound released towards the end of 2022, almost shadow dropped with very little marketing. But this racer from Criterion and EA is a whole load of fun, and a worthy contender to the current king of racers, Forza Horizon 5. Well, the last Need for Speed game, Heat, released in 2019 and received a fairly lukewarm reception, so it didn't really make any inroads beyond the Need for Speed faithful audience. And Need for Speed Unbound is a sequel, so building on the positive elements of Heat, and contains many modern day racing features like a large open world to explore and get your missions from. Yeah, it's a strange marketing tactic from EA, given Need for Speed is very, very good. Arguably, Unbound is the best Need for Speed for years. Whether this reflects EA's lack of confidence in the series, or something else, this is for sure a return to form for Criterion and also the Need for Speed series. Well, Unbound is all about underground racing, where you travel across an open world map with your mechanic partner in your ears, searching for new races. So you gather prize money and then invest that back into cosmetics for your car. You can play through the game's story mode where you're part of a crew. It's a tale of living the underground racing life, working as a mechanic, plus you've got friends, there's betrayal, and you have to deal with all the consequences of all that has come before. Multiplayer is a separate entity in Unbound, where you can load into the map with 16 other players, and take them on in a variety of races that take part in the busy streets and also the side roads of this city. Well, the story campaign takes place over 4 weeks of in-game time. It's a mixture of races, transporting quote-unquote friends to various safe houses, plus you've got a number of special events which culminate in the grand final races. Now, as you take part in the races, you're going to build up police interest, and often at the end of races, you have to continue to outrun the cops. Over time, your wanted level raises. That carries over from race to race. Every time you complete a race, you earn some cash, but then you have to go back to a garage or a safe house to bank, and then you can use these to fund enter even more races. Now, given you got the cops on your tail, this system pushes you to explore the open world, which is a nice side effect of one of the main mechanics in Need for Speed Unbound. Well, the open world is great. It's dense with other cars and people, important events and interactivity through escaping from the cops. Now, you've got to be relatively careful exploring the open world and driving in a semi-responsible manner. For example, I was driving, minding my own business, maybe going a little bit fast, when I crashed head-on into a cop car. That led into a full-blown chase through the city. Need for Speed Unbound has its own visual identity, with realism focused on the cars and the environment, and then for the players, characters, NPCs and driving effects and flourishes, well, that is all done in a shell-shaded design, flat and colourful, in an otherwise realistic driver. It's a really nice combination, and the flourishes are particularly good. Lakeshore, the location that we're left to explore via the open world, similar to Chicago in the United States. You've got a busy downtown area, tall buildings, but then also you've got train tracks to cross or drive on if you want to, plus you've got dense urban areas too, all filled with people, plus you've got long winding roads in the areas just outside the city where you can really put your foot down. In terms of gameplay, it really is a decent racer, one which I found much easier to control compared to the base controls of Forza Horizon 5. Drifting, braking and controlling around corners is much more forgiving, and that led me to easily pick this one up and play it, having much more fun in a shorter amount of time. You've got to be careful about the other cars on the road, as you'll inevitably smash into one of them, and then you're going to have to stop and start over a second or two later, which is definitely going to mess around your race ranking. Now, I started out with a Dodge Charger, and so far, it has served me very, very well. You can customise pretty much every detail of your car, and you're encouraged to when entering new races, as you are a mechanic after all, living that underground lifestyle. You can change the wheels, the suspension, the exhaust, all allowing you to personalise your car to the smallest detail. You can improve the engines, and you can really feel the extra power as your car grips the road, controller vibrating in your hands. It's a great feeling racer, and for me, easy to pick up and play, and to get going nice and quickly. Well, there are definitely improvements that could be made with the game. For example, police AI can be a little bit intense. It's generally okay when you've got a low wanted meter, but things ramp up really quickly, and they can become a little bit overwhelming. While there are a decent amount of cars, unfortunately it doesn't really compete with Forza Horizon 5 on that front. This Need for Speed title is definitely one of the best Need for Speeds I've played in some time, but a few small tweaks and improvements could really make this title excel. Overall, Need for Speed Unbound is a great open world racer, one that controls really well, it's visually stunning, and it's got its own unique visual style, and the music is really good too. Story mode is really entertaining, the online mode works seamlessly and very, very well indeed with little to no lag, and it was easy to get into matches and find other people to play with. The game is also available to try an EA Plays time trial feature, where you can play up to 10 hours of the game for free if you get access to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Well, the game was developed by Criterion, it was published by EA, it's available on the Xbox Series S and X PC, also the PlayStation 5, and was originally released on the 29th of November 2022. Well, that is it for the moment for Need for Speed Unbound. Really, really good fun, that game. Wasn't really expecting much going into it, but I came away from the play sessions really having a whole load of fun. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.